Hello everyone, Disware here. In the previous video we talked about terrain penalties and how to avoid them, or in other words, how to be as cost efficient as possible with your movement budget for the turn. But instead of, or in addition to reducing costs, we can also focus on increasing the movement points pool itself. The very first thing that comes to mind when it comes to the movement pool is the logistics skill. At the basic level, it grants you 10% increase of your max level. And if your hero, like Easter, is a logistics specialist, this gives him another 10% movement point increase plus extra 2.5% for every 6 hero levels. So already at level 1, Easter has 240 movement points instead of the typical 200, which a basic hero can get. If we grab a few treasure chests for experience and level up our logistics skill, let's try to get to it as quickly as we can. Bang, bang, bang. Now that we are on expert logistics, we are getting 20% movement point increase, and Easter is now at 260 points maximum. Let's see if we can increase this pool even further. To do this, we need to interact with one of the most important objects on the travel map when it comes to movement, and that is stables. It immediately restores 20% movement points and grants another 20% until the end of week. So right now Easter is at 171 movement points and 260 maximum. As soon as I interact with stables, we are up to 231 movement points immediately and 300 maximum. As a rule of thumb, when it comes to stables, if you discover them early in the week, making a small detour will pay off very, very quickly. So be on the lookout for this powerful object on the adventure map and stable up as many of your heroes as you can. Now, let's take a look at another super powerful object which boosts our movement speed. I'll just need to make a couple of moves to reach it. Here we go. It is called Fountain, and it restores 40 movement points per turn. You can only interact with it once per turn. Let's see how it works. I am currently at 93 movement points, and as soon as I clicked on it, I replenished 40 movement points. We are now at 133. One important caveat that you have to remember is you don't want to interact with this object at the beginning of the turn, because it cannot bring you beyond your current maximum. Right now I'm at 300 out of 300 on Easter. As soon as I click it, nothing happens. I am still at 300 movement points. Pretty disappointing, I would say, but you got to be careful about it and plan your hero path accordingly. Okay, let's come back to the logistics skill. When leveling up to expert, you have an option to pick leaps and bounds, which restores 10 movement points after each victory. With leaps and bounds, your hero enters kind of a reinforcing loop where the more movement points you have, the more battles you can take, which consequently replenishes more movement points, which allows you to take even more battles, and so on and so forth. This subskill is typically preferred if you picked up logistics later in the game and already have access to the town portal spell, which makes the back to town option less relevant. In the early game though, I usually tend to stick with the back to town spell because it just, it depends heavily on the situation. But back to town is my preferred option. Speaking of later stages in the game, as you build up your towns and mage guilds, you will eventually get access to the second wind spell that acts like a portable fountain and allows you to recover some movement points. I will cover this spell in more detail in the upcoming video, but again, when using it, please remember that you should not click it at the beginning of your turn, since, same as Fountain, it cannot bring you over your current maximum. As you progress through the game, if you get lucky, you might also get your hands on really juicy REs, like Boots of Travel, Backpack, 7 League Boots, and Polestar, which all give you extra movement. There is a micro optimization that you can use with such artifacts. As you probably realize, they are completely useless in battle, so you only really need to put them on at the very end of your turn, hit the end of turn button, and at the start of the next turn, once your maximum movement points have been increased, just replace them with RDs that actually help you in battle. That was it for this video. Stay tuned for next ones in the series, where I will be talking about global map spells, also known as control spells, and about hero chains. Thanks everyone for watching, and if you liked the video, please drop a like and subscribe.